Hi, everybody. Aloha. It's April on one of the last days of April. It's true. I just wanted to come on. My lovely co hosts, Divine Sunshine and Miss Kathy D, could not make it this evening. So, in honor of April and my name being as such, I figured it would be a good time to just go ahead and go full channel for you guys on this new moon. Because what else other than this beautiful space and beautiful time to go full channel? So, as you know, this is Venus's day, and I am a big fan of Venus. Friday, viernes in Spanish. Viernes sounds similar to Venus, does it not? Yes, all of these things are run as clockwork, just like you would expect them to. And so I'm really excited because Venus is also, you guessed it, the one of the rulers of Taurus. And that is our new moon tomorrow. So what does Taurus represent? Well, we've got all the comfort. I'm a Taurus rising, right? I like to be comfortable. I like to have things going towards that stability, that structure. And so a lot of people can be feeling into this space because there's so much changing and there's so much fluctuations happening on our planet that they feel very unstable. And so one of the things to kind of harness in is getting comfortable with being stable in your body. And so, this consciousness that's growing and changing our planet is a very positive one. However, sometimes in a state of creating positivity, it can feel like a lot of friction. It can feel like a lot of upheaval. It can feel like a lot of change, which can make that really stubborn. Stubborn Taurus isn't necessarily a stuck energy. It's a very fixed, slow moving energy. And usually when it has its eye set on something, it acquires it. Now, with the eclipse happening at the same time, it brings on, it makes Taurus move faster in the sense that you can now secure that material wealth. You can now secure that change that you're seeing fit. You just have to actually get yourself in that vibration for receiving it. Because the Taurus can also, like they say, a bull in a china shop, mess stuff up. So it's a good time to kind of analyze where you self sabotage so that you stop. Where you self sabotage, why you self sabotage, and so that you actually stop. Right? Because when we are stepping into the golden age and we're stepping into our purpose, it's time for us to actually let down all of those guards and be vulnerable and be real and be present. And also standing in our power, right? The majesty of who we are as individuals, and do it in a way that we're consistent with it. I know that we often look for ways to validate or to feel like we're fitting into where we usually have been. But now it's the time to actually make your dream come true, right? So for people who actually have some Taurus energy, and I know we all have Taurus energy, or you have that that what you can do with the new moon is that creation space. Some of us were thrust into things we didn't think we were going to get thrust into, but we did. And it can feel really lost because there's a little bit of a Mercury retrograde shadow period still, clearing everything out, clearing out all those things that, but it can feel really uncomfortable when we're being pushed into moving into a new direction, and with such speed and clarity and conviction. So I kind of wanted to take you on a trip with me down the rabbit hole. So why not a special last playground event for the month of April, going down the rabbit hole with April? That's me. Okay, so I guess that's my inner child coming out to play. So, what I'm feeling into and connecting with the collective is it feels like bubbling love. It feels like new beginnings. It feels like absolute concrete new beginnings. So as much as you want to maybe hold on to something from the past that doesn't serve you, the universe is working in your favor and removing that obstacle. And then for those of us who have the lovely opportunity to really face different issues that we may or may not want to face, it actually is a great time to kind of just trust the process. There's been this whole need to control or wanting to make things happen a certain way, which is very much a Taurian style. However, with the solar eclipse, it's like the universe, it's like God's coming in and saying, now is time for you to step into full ninja mode. And so some of us are going full ninja. It's exciting. And some of us are feeling like a kid on a Ferris wheel that we didn't expect to be going this high off the ground. So we're even though we're safely locked in, we're still like, are you sure? Are we supposed to be up this high? I can see way too far. This is very uncomfortable. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel like you've lost your footing or your grounding. You're actually in full gallop going towards it. It's like a free fall. You know, a lot of us have been feeling the whole, I've been pulling my weight, I've been working, I've been doing the things. Why aren't the stuff showing up? Well, sometimes it takes a little bit of effort to grow out of the ground. It takes a little bit of effort to break through. Actually, a whole lot of effort. Not a little bit of effort, a whole lot of effort to break to the surface. But it isn't about rushing and pushing and I'm going to grow. It's just, okay, this is the soil. Am I being watered? Yes, thankfully. Is the soil full of nutrients? Oh, absolutely. There's more nutrients I can handle. Okay, well, what now? Am I doing the right thing? And all you're doing is maturing and setting in so that, and differentiating, right? What's going to go up, the leaves, what's going to go down, the roots, and everything's sorting itself out. Similar to the family groups, the friend groups, all of these things have been really cleared out the past couple of years. And so now I feel like there's an opening space for us to build. I'm on the show right now, honey. Can we go to the... Well, you're going to have to wait just a few moments, okay? You might be tired because we just got back from the beach. But not right now, honey. I can in like 20 minutes. Hola. So, in order to really step into your new way of being, it's about having patience and practicing boundaries, right? It's about remembering that there's a part of you that always wants things to happen. Calm down. I hear you want something from me, but right now I am doing something. And so as I calmly explain to my child, you calmly explain to your inner child that it takes some time and they may not agree with you, but you can, it's kind of like they say you do something else. If you don't want them doing something, instead of screaming at them, no, you actually give them an activity to do or something that keeps them in alignment where they're still growing with purpose. And when you can spend that time with them, then you do. But until that time, you keep your boundary and you keep your what you are expecting to happen. Oh, Ola, get down. Not right now. You're not wearing... Okay, it got a little dramatic. But just a second. Kamakani, please. What did I do? tell you that you cannot go behind me because I try not to see your behind on the screen. You need to practice patience, honey. Please go to the show or go to your iPad for just a little bit until the show is over. I did not hurt you. Are you tired?
Yes.
Did you eat your food?
Yes.
Okay, well, just a few moments and I'll take you to nap, okay? So once you get past all the fighting and crying and you start to realize that there's genuine emotions that you're expressing and you're feeling and you're processing, you start to acknowledge them for what they are. What is it that you really need? Is it that you want that job right now? Or is it that you need that new place right now? Or is it that you need that new car right now and you've been working so hard to do all this, or working so hard to get your business going, or working so this and that? But it's not about the working hard. It's about the season. And when as the sun as the April showers come and the May flowers do bring themselves in, you're gonna see that things are gonna just start blooming and it's gonna seem effortless to you. And people are going to come to you and be like, wow, you made what did you do? How did you do that? You just became an overnight success. I do see that overnight successing, that appearance, right? But you've been working at it for years. You've been doing this process for years. You're actually an expert and you don't even know it. You may have even had some setbacks and you're still kind of questioning yourself from time to time, but stay the course. Hold the line, keep moving forward, trusting your intuition, trusting God, trusting the universe, and it's all going to come together for you. What's beautiful about falling in love with yourself in the space of you becoming is that
How do you push me down?
I did not push you down. I moved you from going up on the bed and being on the camera. I don't need to explain myself, but I think I should because he's a child and he needs to understand what's happening in the world. So, where is it that you're not taking the time to explain to yourself that it takes time to heal? It takes time to express your true emotions. It takes time to actually hear what they were in the first place and where you feel left out. You want to write?
Yes. You can write blue calendar.
Here, right here on this. What's that say?
That means.
Okay, so it's really nice to have patience with yourself. It's really nice to grow in the abundance with yourself and not pretend that you are in the victim throes. I know a lot of people when they've undergone a lot of oppression, they feel as though they are victims, but they're truly empowered to the space of becoming the divine unity, the divine, holy, sacred entity and energy. And this holy energy that comes through all of us is actually very, very human. But when we're acting with discernment and using all of our instincts, we align to this divine energetics and flow. And so today I wanted to share a little bit with you about flow. Let's see if I can find what I need to find. Okay, let's see if it'll let me. Okay, I'm going to try to share this screen with you. I just want to share the screen with you. I want to share the screen with you. Don't call up there behind me. Wait till just nope. Kamakani. What did I just say? Okay, well, since someone's not listening to me, that's okay. As I try to share the screen at the same time. Is it working? Okay. And I'll ask you to explain. Yeah. I think this is the one. Okay, I can't show you the picture. So I guess I'll just explain it to you visually. The donut, the Taurus donut. A donut is our energy field. And as we start to connect more with this energy field, we can actually alchemize and bring through and call through our emotions. Aloha. So, our emotions can be used as fuel through our spinal column to not only call in the divine's connection with us, but also our release of trauma and pain that we have been exposed to and experienced. And then this bringing in and alchemizing, right? This marriage of the heaven and the earth also has its reverse, which is the manifestation principle, the manifestation of earth as heaven, right? Earth as a wonderful place to be that connects us all into our new earthen bodies, our new earthen structure. So I invite you to um, really come into unity with your body, come into unity with your self so that you can actively carry your spiritual knowledge and gifts with you wherever you go. And also, as we're bodies of water, we activate each other. So when you're in your authenticity, that can actually bring the inauthentic out of others. So we often can, it feels yummy? Okay, good. Um, we often can trigger others around us because our vibration, our frequency is forcing their inauthenticity or the fakeness around them, or the emotions they don't want to feel, or they're running away from, or they're gaslighting. That brings it to the surface. But as you hold your space stronger and with more, I guess, anchored in divinity, you facilitate that transition to the Aquarian age, which is what we've been looking for this entire time, what we're all actually realigning to. And for those who are holding really harsh false beliefs, the solar eclipse is burning them up to the surface. You see, when gold melts, when you melt any metal, all the impurities come out. And we're in a state of kind of like molten lava, which is why, and we're forming a new earth, which is why the Taurian energy with this solar eclipse is acting like a slingshot. Because if you get Taurus, which is one of the most stubborn, fixed energies in the space that we are in now, with the alignments that we have for Jupiter and Neptune and Pluto, we're shooting into a dream reality, right? Because there's all of this stuff in Pisces kind of shifting out and letting dreams come true. So, what are those dreams that you wish to create? Do you wish to create a little musician who's making a song up about you called Mommy Mommy? Do you want to create your dream business? Do you just want some space so you can clearly think and say, these are my art forms, this is my calling? But with tourists, they have the passion, they have the drive. It's not that they're slow because they aren't passionate, they're just so caring and loving, and they love pleasure, right? So if the new beginning starts with security and pleasure, what is that space for you? As you start to envision this space, do you actually have resistance to it? Do you have resistance to your own pleasure? Do you have resistance to your own manifestations coming true? And it's okay if you do. The key is to acknowledge it. The key is to actually let it come to pass so that when it changes, you accept it versus being, I feel like I'm unworthy of this and pushing it away. And that's why I brought up earlier the concept of self sabotage. Now, if you're in the process of just breaking the surface and you are waiting for that divine season to change and thaw the soil so that you have just everything you need so that you can crack through the layer of that soil, realize it's almost your season. It's almost thawing time. If you decide, forget about it, I've been doing this and I've been pushing and I've been growing I'm not actually growing. You can't give up on yourself. You can, but then you start to see those that were working in the same path and the same rhythm with you going further, trusting themselves more, and you've questioned and doubted yourself, so you keep going back and forth. You're standing on the line. You're no longer standing with divinity, and that's why I suggest that you call in and call down your highest self. You call down God's energy to work with you and breathe that through any resistance in the body. Breathe it through down through the spine. Right? Squeeze your lower abs, your buttocks, release, squeeze your toes even. Your calves, maybe if you want to pull that energy down, letting the emotions carry with it, letting any pains that come up carry with it. And then as that goes down, realize there's an alternate energy moving up, right? The energy moves, they move like the DNA helix through the spine, both up and down. And so there's more. Okay. So you see how when you drop something in a pond, it ripples the pond. But it's all from the initial drop. Now, if it's in an enclosed space or like a tank, it hits the outside walls and then it reverberates back in and out and in and out. And all of these things are changing the condition of the water on the surface. But underneath, the rock has already hit the base of the tank. And what I mean by that is when you accept in that you're divine, this energy hits the bottom of the tank. It doesn't actually go anywhere, but it does affect everything as a ripple. Once you accept that that horrible experience you had didn't make you or break you or create you as a wounded individual, it actually gave you another facet to your story. It gave you some strength, some depth, some character. You accept that, okay, this made me stronger. This made me empathize more, connect more with a certain type of people, situation, experience. I accept that, and then it reverberates, right? I deserve the wealth and abundance and the connectivity and the genuine people in my life, right? You're not holding on to, oh, honey, please stop that. You're not holding on to things that no longer service you. You're holding on to and calling in. Can you please take that out of this room, please? It's making a little bit too much noise. Please take it. So you're no longer identifying yourself with the pile of stones that's forming, right? Because consciousness ideas are always coming in. And what you're responding to and what you're reacting to. Kamakani, I asked you to take that out of this room. I said it was making a little too much noise. Can you please take that? Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Anyway, gentle parenting, inner peace, right? So I'm no longer defined by these stones, but I have seen the effects of them. And because I want a certain reverberation back, I'm going to keep accepting those ideas and consciousness, that vibration that says, yes, the storyline you are creating is true. Yes, the wealth and abundance is true. Yes, the connectivity and the authenticity is true. The soul family, the soul tribe, the connection with the self, the connection with the universe, all of these things do align me with that future April, that now April. Excuse me. And then I keep that stream. And sometimes, you can't help it, right? When you're pushing through, waiting for that season to change, you can't get caught up in the spaces of, oh, but this and it's not looking the way that it feels, and I'm just conflicted, and it's okay to be in that space. The key is to detach faster and faster from outcome, because judging yourself right or wrong, if you're good or bad, or wrong, right or wrong, or comfortable or uncomfortable. And sometimes the unknown can be very uncomfortable, especially in terms of Taurian energy, right? What happens as NFTs become popular, right? The traditional banking structure starts to waver and looks a little shaky, right? Because there's this new entity on the block. Well, because someone didn't believe in NFTs doesn't mean that they're not continuing to grow and continuing to make people money and changing the structure of finance. Before crypto, what was there? There was just a traditional banking system. These things are able to cut through and catch up rapid speed and change the world, just as your energy, once you keep it going consistently, is going to catch up and go rapidly towards your growth and towards your benefit. So continue to believe in yourself, continue to trust yourself, continue to know that, yes, there's an alternate space out there, there's an alternate energy out there, that yes, things could go wrong, but they're not going to. If you're here at this point, watching this video, experiencing this information, you know deep down in your core that everything more than works itself out for you, more than works itself out in this universe, more than works itself out for your great, 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 great grandchildren, right? Mothers and fathers of all children. So now the question is, can you get into that vibration consistently enough to then choose to receive it when it's offered to you? How many things can you look back on and say, oh, I saw this opportunity, but I didn't take it, right? So you're going to come up to a space where now you have plenty of opportunities to thrive and grow. The question is, are you going to take it? Are you going to allow yourself to thrive and grow? Are you going to allow yourself to continue having the benefits of doing the meditations? So it's like, okay, I used to meditate for over an hour a day, every single day. Like, that was the only thing I knew I had to do, was meditate. It was my job. So once I stopped doing that every day for an hour, that connection of going directly into deep meditation was not as readily accessible to me. That instant peace that I used to pick up when I was out and about and being triggered was not as readily available to me, because I wasn't paying attention to it. I wasn't calling that into my consciousness. Once I started calling it back in, I could have the connection with me at all times. It was very simple to plug back in. It was just a matter of giving myself permission to say, okay, I don't have to work that hard to do it. I can just do it. I can take and allow it to be easy. I can allow it to be peaceful. I can allow it to be graceful. And once you really let that in for yourself, it's going to be a magical, magical world. It can be easy to receive your abundance. It can be easy to receive your wealth, your beauty, your poise, your connection with spirit. That can be genuinely Very simple. And it doesn't, I mean, yes, all of that stuff is nice and it's foreplay, but once you build the muscle, you build the muscle. So it's the same thing when you're like working out in a gym or lifting weights, you know. You're lifting weights, you're getting stronger, and you progressively add more weights. You're not doing necessarily more and more and more reps, depending on what your goal is, right? But then you also break up that energy of weightlifting with some cardio. You you do these supersets. That's my favorite. It's like supersets, right? Because I saw maximum results with less effort. It was just more concentrated effort. So when I used to meditate for an hour, it took me at least 15 minutes worth of foreplay, aka breathing styles or things I thought and I let go and shed in order to get into that space of that divine connection. Now, as I've learned as a mother, even though I used to practice, my meditation, what it would be like to have children running around while you're meditating. It's not that easy, by the way. He still has not taken the truck out of here. Anyway, I can do it with much more focus. I can do it with much more grace in the sense that I'm not attached to it has to look this way. I have to be in this position for 20, 30 minutes. I have to be uncomfortable with the whole process, right? Because part of my butt cheek had to go numb, and that's when I knew I was about to hit enlightenment. It's like, it's really not, it's really not like that at all. But we put all these conditions. So often that Taurian energy says, okay, I'm not successful until I've gotten all of that type of abundance, or I just signed for this new car. Kamakani, could you please stop? I asked you to stop. Um, all this abundance, or the new car, or the new house, and then I'll know I'm successful. But ultimately, if you're doing what it is that spirit is telling you to do, your highest self is telling you to do, God is guiding you, and you're trusting your intuition, and you weren't trusting it a month ago, congratulations, you're still on the right track. If you were eating improper foods, but now you're eating properly again and taking care of your body, congratulations, you're on the right track, you're successful, and you're becoming more and more successful. Now the key is to keep going. So when you're living in grace and striving for comfort, just because the Taurus is comfortable doesn't mean they don't stop striving for more comfort for everyone around them, because they know that once everyone's comfortable, oh, we hit a new level, right? And then the comfort game goes up, right? Everybody gets the sleep numbers all over the planet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets their own style of comfort. So, what does that mean for you? And then growing in that. Also, taking some time to be uncomfortable and letting that be okay too. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to set boundaries. But guess what? That's your new normal now. That's your new space that you're cultivating. And that's also part of propratorian styling, is setting up the boundaries and knowing when you're going to turn into that bull in a china shop and start messing stuff up, because you know how to keep it beautiful. Okay, well, um, I think that is all for today. Let me see if I can contact um, my sweet companion and see if she will. And unless there's any questions from the audience, and I don't think that there's any questions, but if you have anything you want some guidance on in terms of the energies, or if you anything you want me to explore, go down the rabbit hole on, you're welcome to ask now. But if not, please go ahead and um, thank you so much for connecting with April, going down the rabbit hole today. Um, I hope you feel encouraged and know that this was a really hard time for a lot of us, but you're coming out on top. And I want you to feel proud of yourself and consciously know that if you're doing the best that you can, you get to feel proud of yourself. You get to feel good. You get to celebrate. even if that means just taking that weight off of your shoulders for a few breaths. So let's take a couple breaths off our shoulders. And two. I'm breathing peace. It sounds like he's breathing pieces all over the floor. Hey Mimi, we're just about to leave. I just want to say thanks. Check out the video with some nice little channeling on the, you know how life imitates art and art imitates life. No worries. It was just me today. No one could make it. So we went down the rabbit hole with April. A little bit about cosmic consciousness and staying consistent and knowing that you're going to start getting the waves back now. Now it's time to start collecting. Anyway, stay blessed, stay golden. I live um, near Honolulu on Oahu. Okay. But anyway, stay blessed. For real this time. Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember, you're made for this golden life. Bye. Aloha.